Hello, hello. It's Wednesday, my crew. How's it going? Hey, Nix, Scotty, Mr. Magoo coming in with the 5-stream streak. Incredible. Hey, the ant. How's everyone doing today? This classical music is giving me a strong 2001 vibe. Well, we are on our Space Odyssey. I'm almost done with the post-jam version of the Grave Escape. It adds WASD and joystick movement. We're not going to look at that today. Almost done with it, though. Put a couple days. Put a couple hours, a couple days. Last 2 days. I'm pretty happy with where it's ending up, I think. All right, we're changing the radio. Hey, you're getting over sickness? Well, I'm glad you're sick, but I'm glad you're getting over it. Hey, Nanigans, what's up? Happy Wednesday. All right, so we still have our mystery bug. Still have our mystery bug, but we're going to figure it out. Here's classically how we were doing it before we tried to mess with things. Oh, that's very different than what we're doing now. I do like this little... Oh, I'm on the right area, right? Yeah, I'm on the overlay. Ryder has so many little clever ways of letting me know where I am in the code. There's like the top part here, which lets me know the scope I'm currently in most of the time. And then I got this little preview thing, so I can go up if I want to compare two things real quick. So I can look here. No, that is positive Y, or this. Not this and not this. Oh, I'm in the wrong area. I was like, this all looks very different than what we were doing yesterday. Classic. Here we go. Hey, the ant, you're traveling for a wedding? You couldn't go because you were sick? Oh, that's the worst when you're like traveling and then you get sick. Hey, Sapphire Starship. That tune shader you're sharing looks great. Nix, you're good? You worked on your game last night. Hell yeah. Oh, last midnight. Today you decided to finally give in and set up Home Assistant for your apartment. You already automated a couple of things. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I wouldn't do like the Internet of Things kind of Home Assistant stuff. Like I wouldn't do the ones where you have to pay for a service and it's like a web app and like all that junk. I would like to do some like Home Assistant stuff that's like totally local, but I don't care about any of that right now. I live in an apartment. I don't have that much to manage. But yeah, someday I would be interested in setting up a lot of that kind of stuff. My dad likes doing a lot of that stuff. He's always complaining about the various services that you generally have to do if you don't do it yourself. All right, here we go. This is okay. This is literally all we have is like, okay. So we're just checking to see if the containment's the same for a block and the block below it. I see how that doesn't work. What we were previously doing was this. This also doesn't work, but for different reasons. And we're kind of comparing them. The Y side and the X side are doing two different things right now for comparison's sake. But let's see where we're at. This bug is crazy. We looked at it for like 2 hours yesterday and I have no idea. We made some progress, but I still have no real idea what's going on here. Sapphire, thanks. You're planning on working on making more of a scene to better test the shader. Oh yeah, applying that to some actual art prototypes. That'll look great. That'll be cool. Nix, it's all local host. Nice, of course it is. I figured with you it would be. Oh my lord, Sapphire Starship. Coming in with the 15 stream streak. That's crazy. Really appreciate that. Making time to hang out with us. Someday we'll be done with this part, I swear. But it won't be this day. So what we would like, ideally, all we really want is for these higher levels to render. Oh, and look, they render correctly like that. And they render incorrectly like this. So yeah, we're in kind of a weird state. The left side has kind of what normally happens, which is like they're just totally indifferent. And then what if we have multiple layers stacked? There's some XY stuff I want to change too. Magoo, you're waiting out for a school to upgrade so you can get a few dozen PCs. Start a computer farm. That's funny. That's funny. Nix, you got lights automatically turning off, dimming at night, cameras, checking and calculating. Soon you'll have your heaters set up to keep temp and turn off when you're not in the room they're situated in. Ooh, cool. Gonna try to set up your fancy coffee machine to turn on when you get up as well. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. You don't know, Sapphire, you might leave if we ever finish the autotiler. Yeah, you're only hanging out. You're only hanging out for the autotiler. Yeah, well, the autotiler will be always with us. The real autotiler are the friends we made along the way. This is like mostly fine.
Your logic was impeccable, Captain.
Thanks, Nix. Ketu, welcome in. You swear there's always a point in development when you're just endlessly replaying the same section for 6.5 weeks. Yeah, that can be hard. That can be hard. You definitely lose the ability to like make judgments about stuff. Oh, so this affects the... This is interesting. This is affecting the wall too. Huh. That's new. What did I change about the wall? Or wait, is it the floor that's doing the work over here? Either way, we changed something. No, I messed something up with the wall. Let's go back. Compare this to the section below, which I can do with this fancy thing. What? As far as I can tell, these are doing the same thing here, which means the problem's not here. All right. Arneo, what up? Out of the sauna and into the tile system. You're always fighting the urge not to do any more project work during the stream. It's a bit late for you to start the spiral. Yeah, but don't you just feel motivated? But yeah, don't overdo it. I've been overdoing it a lot lately. Okay, these are different. Interesting. Oh wait, no they're not. I think I was looking in the wrong place. Huh. Well, they're a little different. But not in the direction that we're thinking. So wait, how is this happening? This has been a very directionless week for me. Just a lot of staring at the results of this current behavior and being like, what? Did I do that? Alright, so this works fine in both these cases. I mean, the top part is wrong, but I'm looking at the bottom right now. Mr. Magoo, stupid VBE BIOS extension. Yeah, unfortunately none of us know what any of that is. But I feel your pain. Alright, so this part where it's facing down and there's no outline, that is whack. I messed this part up somehow. And yet again, I'm like unable to figure out how, but that's fine. It's the bulk X. The bulk X is doing something weird. Bulk X tile overlay for the has edge positive Y. So it's this section behaving weirdly. I just compared this to the Y section and I literally can't figure out what the problem is, but it's fine. We'll figure it out eventually. You stare at it long enough. That's how it goes. Okay, here's our companion here. This is not helpful the way I've framed this. Here we go. Here we go. So +2 is below. These various +2 sections, again, look identical. And yet the behavior we're getting is not identical. So there is some difference somewhere. Very strange. Very strange. I guess the difference doesn't have to be here. It could be somewhere else. Because this is where I would do this if I was doing it correctly. Maybe we're doing it incorrectly somewhere else. I thought I checked that as well, but, you know, I wouldn't put it past me. Ketu, are you using a pre-built autotiler or are you spooling up my own? This is my own autotiler. It's the built-in autotiler is very limited. This autotiler can consider like any number of other. It takes in an arbitrary number of inputs before making its decision of what to do. So it's very nice. It's very programmable. We have a lot of layers. We're rendering everything per face. All right, so I want to look here, and I want to look at the lower section. I want to look here, and I look at the next one down here. This one. I want to compare the Y's here. I mean, again, the positive Y is different, but that would not result in the behavior that we're seeing. Or it shouldn't. I mean, I guess it is. Well, let's test. Let's test it. Only difference I can spot. Y'all are going crazy with acronyms. Oh, I didn't see what Nanigans was up to. Messing around with some stuff to extract game files from Baldur's Gate 3. Extend it out to be able to parse various mods as well. Ooh, nice.
He's dead, Jim.
Who's dead, Jim? Nanigans ended up catching a couple bugs with a major mod using your script. You filed a PR to fix this morning. Wow, you're such a pillar of the community. Amazing. All right, let's see. Huh, yeah, so how? This might point to something. How the heck would that affect this? Oh. Oh, maybe? I understand. I'm dumb. Okay, I understood why that was happening. Problem that it was happening, but I understood it at least. All right, let's regroup. So why can't we... All we really want is this tile. We want these tiles to render the bottom outline to finish this, you know, rect here. Problem is, when we were doing that, it was freaking out and it would draw all the outlines. That I genuinely don't know why that was happening. Couldn't figure that out. So we reverted a little bit to the previous set of rules, but now we just have that one main thing to deal with here. Hey, Alex, what's up? You miss anything important? No, definitely not. We started late and we are stuck on a bug, so you really didn't miss anything. Man, I need to get like a brace that prevents me from rotating my wrists like this. I do this all the time. I think I only started doing it when I raised my armrests high enough that I could actually use them. So I created a pivot point that is not good for where my wrist is pivoting. Making a tile editor in Godot, episode 512. Yeah, well, I wish. Oh, Magoo, you asked for a stretch. You'll get it. It's a very windy day here today. It was nice. There was supposed to be a rainstorm, which we didn't get. I'm very upset about that. It was feeling very stormy. I feel like I was cheated a little bit. I love that nice stormy weather. You have the rain here? Lucky you. Thanks for the hydrate, Alex. Come and get it. Yeah. I wish. It used to rain all the time in this city. But global warming, the environment, the weather patterns of this city are a lot different than when I moved here like over 15 years ago. You got a rainstorm there? Man, rainstorm. Alex, you got a new monitor. Ooh. Really sad because you got an adapter chain, and because of that, you can't make it go to the correct resolution. So now you got a resolution that's 36% smaller and everything's blurry. Oh, yeah. You have to be super careful when buying adapters. It is very easy to get it, especially if you're talking about a high resolution monitor or a high frame rate monitor. It is so easy to get an adapter that's just not going to work. So that sucks. I've been there. Yeah, getting an adapter that works for my 2560 by 2880 monitor is really hard. Because it's two 1440p screens basically merged into one monitor. Hence the 2880. I thought I bought a good adapter for it. A new one. I wanted a new one that was longer. It doesn't work. I thought it would. It's such a weird resolution. All right, so starting from here, so simply comparing whether these are part of the same mask or both not. This is not working. Should not this work? I feel like I'm gonna try something here. We've done this one before, but I just want to look at it. What layer am I on? X? Okay. (16:10) resolution. That's like the aspect ratio. Yeah, 16:10 is cool. It's a little unusual, but yeah, I mean high resolution in terms of numbers, like, you know, 1440p, 2160p, or whatever a 4K monitor is now. It's confusing because we call it a 4K monitor, even though we always name our resolutions by the vertical resolution, not the horizontal. It's super confusing. So 4K is really 2K. It's not 2160, is it? It's whatever. It's. Oh no, it is, because it's 1080 twice. If you have the 16 part in the aspect ratio. Or no, not the 16, the 9. So 16 by 10 would be even taller. Yeah, that'd be a big resolution if you've got it at like 4K. Bezels are big. Yeah. You can get like an HDMI. The HDMI part's usually not the problem, right? It's like the other part. Okay, so now this is just displaying this all the time. This is the part that makes no sense to me. This shouldn't occur. This shouldn't be able to occur. This should be impossible. You know? You know what I'm saying? So now we're back to where we kind of were yesterday, where it's behaving super weirdly at the bottom. And the top. Super weird. Like, I would get it if just the bottom lines were drawing. But it's the fact that it freaks out and starts drawing all the lines just due to one change along one axis. Not even one axis, one direction of one axis. This is the part where I'm just like, huh? What? How? Like, how is this even possible? It knows it needs to draw something. It's just drawing the wrong thing. This is the mystery that we're just kind of slow walking our way towards some kind of understanding. Very strange. And all this says is, are we both, is us and our lower neighbor both contained in the mask, or are we not? Again, both. Actually, this should be like something like this. Oh, it's VGA in? Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's going to be impossible. DVI to HDMI, HDMI to VGA. And yeah, that's like analog and digital. That's rough. I don't know if the DVI to VGA would help you. VGA just has a hard resolution limit, I'm pretty sure. VGA resolution limit. Yeah, most VGA's inputs can't handle over 1200 or 1080p. But that should be sufficient for a 24-inch monitor. The only one limiting the resolution is the HDMI to VGA one. That's super weird. Super weird. All right, so we're gonna add something here. We're gonna add a debug dot write. Well, no, we're gonna have an else here. I think I've done this before, but we're gonna still do it. All right, we're gonna try to do this with like the smallest possible test environment here, just so I don't get a ton of debug messages here. This is gonna be hard to follow, but I just want to see, when we get into this weird state, I want to see what kind of Atlas cores we're looking at. How many 3 ones do we have between each 0? It says 4. 4 seems like too many. Why are there 5 here? There should not be 5. There should be 4. Oh, no. Yeah, I don't exactly know what's going on, but we're getting 3-1 and 0-1, and those are both wrong. Both wrong. want to see if these are causing the problem. We're just gonna always advance. This shouldn't be doing anything, but, you know. Worst case, you could remake the tile system. Yeah, I don't know if that would help. Oh, interesting. We're all... Huh. Yeah, there's some misconfiguration somewhere. That's got to be what this is, because otherwise this doesn't make any sense. I just, like, hard-coded a bunch of stuff. I hard-coded it to always get rid of these outlines, the little sawtooth things. And they're back. So there's some misconfiguration somewhere where it's misidentifying. It's possible. No, it's happening on for any outline, so that's... Or for any overlay outline. Is there like a reassignment happening or something? Something that would explain why this value is just getting nuked? Yeah, so here, whatever the value of coords was, I guess I should continue to check this debug.writeLine. I should look what this number says. So they're all 310. So yeah, the X is something's going. Well, hold on. No, that's correct. Because yeah, I'm automatically incrementing these. X equals X plus 1, X equals X plus 2. So even though it's 310, it's ignoring the X for some reason. Could be causing that. Where's that X? Man, I really hope the buffer is not wrong. It looks like there's something wrong with this buffer, but I don't see how that's true. I have to look at when I'm building the buffer. It looks like it's incorrectly translating from the tile map, or from the auto tile mapping to the tileset atlas mapping. I don't want to believe that's true, though, because this is working everywhere else. So it'd be super weird if it just would only not work specifically for this variation. Like, I can't be this. This can't be the source of the problem. Nanigans, you think it's a healthy decision to ignore X's? That's funny. That's very well done. All right. I mean, sanity check here, I guess. Overlay texture, overlay outline. Input selection, select overlay textures, select overlay outlines. Put overlay textures and put overlay outlines. Block cutaways. I don't think there's any procedural issues leading up to this particular thing here. I mean, I guess I have to just look, huh? All right, let's go find the format. I can't believe there's anything weird here. Because, yeah, there's only 3 lists, and they're shared. What if there's no 3100? I guess that could theoretically be the problem, but if there's no 3100, that could be it, I guess. If there's no 3100, maybe it, like, just returns the default. That would explain some of what we're seeing here, but not all of it. All right, I guess sanity check. We go down, we check every 3. Check every 3-1 here. 3100. Nope, there it is. That's what I thought. This is index 26. Let's go look at the file, I guess. You might as well eliminate this as a possibility. 26. That's right. That's very much correct. Yeah, should be doing this one. These are the corner bits, though. Is it possible that the file is actually wrong? That's pretty correct. Okay, one more check of the tile atlas. This is the part when you come up with like an intrans, whatever the word is. A bug you can't get any traction with. You gotta just start checking higher level assumptions. Maybe lower level, depending on how you think of it. You gotta just keep checking your assumptions. 8, 6, 8, 6. Yeah, this is pretty correct. Yeah, I didn't think there was a problem with the format. Double check the tile set atlas, I guess. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't see any problem. This one we want. Atlas coordinates 2, 3. Oh, wait, what? 0, 1, 2, 3. Hold on a second here. Oh, no. Never mind. Everything's fine. Yeah, we should be getting this. works. But there's no... I don't see any indication of a problem here. It's possible there's maybe multiple tile map layers rendering. That seems deeply unlikely though. Because again, we're not seeing this problem anywhere else. We're only seeing it with this particular outline. Super weird. Alright, well, I'm pretty satisfied that all the underlying stuff is working. It's just a problem with the auto-tiling rules as written, I guess. I mean, that has to be what it is. Oh, now most programmers would start praying. Yeah, well, we just put in the work. Thanks for the bit. This stuff only really frustrates me when we're in a jam. Like when I've got a time commitment. If we're just working normally, it doesn't really bother me that much. It confounds me, and I'm sure, and it does frustrate me to some extent. But it's like we've got time. We've got the time. Got all the time in the world here. I don't understand my own code or the consequences of my own code, and it's like there's not really anything you can do to get around that except to just keep reading it. You change it. See what that does. You read it some more. Can't really cheat your way around that. I mean, you can, but I don't think it goes well. So the weird thing is here, I'm forcing... Here's the thing that's really weird, is that I'm forcing these coordinates to advance. And I've confirmed that we get to this point where X is, you know, +3, which brings us into this area. Which brings us from here on the left to here on the right. So it eliminates these vertical little pylon outlines. So I'm confirming that we're doing this. So we're passing that in. And yet we're ending up in a very weird place. Very weird. Is it possible that another layer is simply... Is it possible that the behavior is totally correct and there's another layer obfuscating it? That's possible. That's possible. Kind of the only thing that... Well, no, that doesn't explain the, like, go crazy and draw all the outlines thing. That would explain one case of an outline particularly missing, but that's all it would do. You're looking forward to starting work on your code? You're dreading at the same time? I would love to do anything else for a while. I would love to get back to art soon. And what I would really love to do is start working on, like, some soundscapes. Working on like some ambient audio things. Shenanigans, when you get stuck like that, after a few hours, you usually just move on to something else and come back to it later with a fresh look on things. Either you figure out the issue or you refactor to clean up the logic and resolve it in that process. Yeah, that's kind of the only other choice, right? Is you completely take the engine apart and you're like, I guess we got to just get it working again with a slightly different configuration. You know, there's going to be a bunch of banging your head on the wall, especially with the procedural stuff. Procedural stuff is tricky, for sure. I think a lot of us have settled on hand building the content and then introducing procedural stuff to stitch them together. So it's like all your individual components are all handmade, and then you introduce procedural stuff to like decide how those things are combined or, you know, put together in like a, this room is attached to this room, or this region mixes with this region or something. It's like, otherwise I think you very quickly get into like the bowl of oatmeal problem. If you like actually try to make the stuff procedurally, I think it's hard to keep stuff interesting that way. Like, I don't think I could have a system that automatically builds rooms, but I think I could have a system that stitches predefined rooms together based on some criteria. Probably a lot easier. We're gonna get rid of this part. Well, hold on. I want to see one more thing. So it's insane to me that we could be doing this, that we could be getting this coordinate reading here, and then still seeing what we're seeing. 31030. Interesting. Who is rendering out 310 in this case? Oh, it's all three of the outlines. So we've got 3-1. But again, we're reading out the threes, and yet look, we still just see outlines everywhere. This is the part that doesn't make sense. And then this part down here makes even less sense. These are all rendering out as 3100. But that's not even what we would get if they were 3100. If it was 3100, they would look like this. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 1. It would look like this with the corners. But we're not seeing that. We're not seeing the corners. What we're seeing are... So if we go to 3-1 here, all you can really change with the 3100 is its Z. You can get rid of these top corners. And here's another thing that's pointing to a problem for me is this. If we do like this, this is another problem I think we have. Which, we got the sawtooth stuff happening on the bottom, but if I do the same thing up here, like this. Oh, that's new. Oh, that's kind of correct what's happening down here. Kind of. So this area is correct down here. I mean, it's this part should be completed, but I've purposely disabled that. So these look good. You know, it's possible. Here's what I think might be happening. Is we're reaching an invalid corner state. And because we're reaching an invalid corner state, it's not able to read the format correctly. And it's spitting out the 00. What that doesn't explain though is why the top of that is missing here. It doesn't explain that. Unless the texture is like literally overwriting, is covering that up. I'm gonna do a weird test to see if that's true. I'm gonna just hide the texture. We're just gonna hide everything except the outline. It's gonna look super weird, but it'll help. Should help. Hey, Rihanna Journey. Okay. Okay, so we were proving this one idea. Oh, that's wrong too. Shouldn't be doing this. Okay, so this helped. So there is something happening. As far as it is rendering that outline on the bottom and a texture is overwriting it. Or another texture is being rendered over it in a way that obscures it. That's curious. It's got to be this one, right? It's got to just be the block editor texture.
Beam me up, Mr. Magoo 8888. Look forward every day. Matt Rose on Mondays, you on every other. Much thanks.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Magoo. I really appreciate that. That's very sweet. Thank you for the Ko-fi. Ko-fi, coffee, whatever it is. Thank you. Appreciate that. Seriously. Ko-fi jump scare. Yeah, seriously. I forgot. I've set this up on purpose. That's why she says beam me up at the beginning. It's the only way to get TTS. I didn't either. I forgot. I forgot that I'd set that up. I think one other person. Actually, I think nobody has ever used that before. I've had people trigger the Ko-fi, but no one's ever written a message. So that was fun. That scared you and you knew it was coming. It might be a little loud. If that was way too... I want it to, like, talk over me if I'm talking or whatever. So... But it may be. Maybe a scotch too loud. I don't know. All right, let's test this. Okay, so we've identified part of the problem. An ancillary part of the problem, but part of the problem nonetheless. So my theory... Yep. So the texture... Oh, so this wall texture is overwriting this floor texture. That makes a lot of sense. But that's fine. That just means there's another... The floor... Okay, that's fine. That's not actually a bug. This is, though. Whatever's happening here. This is what I don't understand. Okay, no outlines this time. November 5th. And your house has a 360 view of all the fireworks from all directions. Your office is over the river in Washland, so you see loads. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, remember. It's like Guy Fawkes night. What's Matt Rose stream? We go. I want to know who my competition is. Hold on a second. Oh. Whoa, 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 whoa. This stuff here, this is not... Oh, breakthrough. This is not the selection overlay doing this. It's the hover overlay doing this. Oh, snap. Okay, it's the hover overlay doing part of it. It's certainly not helping. Okay. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. So the selection overlay is behaving correctly. The hover overlay is malfunctioning. Well, the selection overlay is behaving relatively correctly. If the hover is being weird. That kind of explains what we're saying. Kind of. Okay, okay. I think I can work with this. So why is the hover being so weird? Matt Rose, you've watched him for years now. Makes Mondays great with his YouTube release every Monday. Okay. I don't know what they stream, though. Nick says it's memes. Meme reading. Let me see about this Matt Rose fellow. The Johnny Knoxville of reading stuff out on Reddit. Oh, okay. Okay. I see. All right, so if that's the case, I didn't even think about that. So that's weird. That's weird. Go, he's hilarious. He does meme reading, but segments of like cooking, Reddit stuff, or doing the things. Crazy. Okay. So this is like almost correct. Okay, so this variation doesn't cause the crazy hover outline behavior. But it has its own problems, because if I turn the select overlay back on... Hey, Ezra, what's up? How's it going? Okay, that's something. It's still wrong. Okay, now we're back to like it being weird, but that's fine. It's slightly less. It's weird in a different way, which we can work with. You're chilling, getting ready. You got your first merch design published. Ooh. Feel free to hit me with a link. We're bug hunting. We've been stuck on this bug for a while. Okay, this is... Well... Oh, hey. Hey, we're getting close. We're not doing all the wrong things. We're not doing the right things either, but at least we're not doing wrong things. So that feels like an improvement. I forgot there were 2 overlays that could be, like, interfering with each other. So this is drawing nothing. It's got no outline coming down from the surface above it, which we need. And which we should be seeing. And then here we've got none being... Well, this should be projected down from the wall. So this one I can fix right now. Thanks for the stretch, Ezra. What does this do? It influences my behavior. Trying to save my neck here. Appreciate it. Thanks for the hydrate, Mr. Magoo. Yeah, from the waist up, I'm doing great stretches. Back and leg stretches would require more work. I should be standing while doing this. How's it going, Ezra? You're at like 6 projects still? Or did you knock one off since you finished your merch? I saw you working on some crazy berry stuff the other day. I popped in for a minute. Do you think I can take a quick look at the merch design? Yeah. Link me. Either here or DM me or in the Discord or whatever. Alright. One's done, just needs to make video. Okay. Ooh. Oh yeah, I saw you painting this image the other day and I was like, what's he doing? Let's make games. This is quite horrifying. And also cute. It's like your little strawberry reminds me. I saw like a picture of like a traditional carved turnip for Halloween, like, which is the traditional thing to carve, not pumpkins, turnips, in like the British Isles. And your little strawberry guy reminds me of one of those horrifying carved turnips. Poor little Godot bot is getting cooked up. This is pretty good. This is pretty funny. I like the design. I like the painted kind of backdrop. Oh, interesting. It's like a 2-tone color design too for the mug. Magical Game Dev mug. Well, this is pretty sweet. Oh, also the last 4 digits of my fake GPay credit card is on here. I should hide that. I do like that Google Pay creates you a fake card number. It does help. Fully doxed. It's fine. I showed my personal email the other day. You gotta go? All right, Magoo. Thanks again. Take it easy. Yeah, I like that mug. I'd be tempted to pick up one of those. I don't have enough Godot merch. I've got my little first run Godot bee, and that's kind of it. I could do with more. But yeah, that's fun. I should get on some merch eventually, someday. That's just for fun, right? That, like, I've never looked at the margins, but like I can't imagine you make any money doing merch like that, right? Even with this like print on demand stuff, which I feel like that stuff is. I mean, I think it's cool. I think you should always provide more ways for like your real fans, quote unquote, to like give you money. There's that whole, you only need like I forgot whether it was 100 or 1,000 or something, but you only need like 1,000 real fans or something like that. It's some like manifesto on like how to survive as a relatively indie artist. It's not for games specifically. I think it was written in the context of music, but that's what it makes me think of. Yeah, cool design. I liked it. All right, so there is a problem here. So what we need to do, we need something else here. Or do we? I might actually be wrong about where to apply this. But we're definitely on the right track, which is a noticeable improvement from yesterday. So we're back to not really doing anything here, but that's okay. We're kind of not doing anything anywhere here, so there's like very obviously a problem here. I think there's an or that's causing us some problems here. Or maybe it's the and, honestly. All right, let's make this double decker because I see one distinct problem there, but I think there's another problem here. Oog, we're back to that there. That's not good. That's really not good. Whatever's causing that again. I suspect that's also the hover. I actually want to confirm that that's true real quick. We honestly might want to just reduce the input in the select overlays to just be one. Maybe not. Well, no, maybe we do. Maybe I might just want a single. I might not want two separate overlays for this. This might be causing problems. But if I do keep two separate overlays, I need to tweak their behavior a little bit. I've been kind of trying to take it easy this week. It's been going pretty well so far. I've still been getting... Oh. Yeah, so this is a hover problem. So what we should try to do is try to understand why this is happening. This is unfortunate. There should be nothing occurring here except in like this situation only. There needs to be some additional checks here. I could deal with that now or I could deal with that later. Not sure. Oh, interesting that that happens. Yeah, so the y+2 is still wrong for the DEX-Z layer. What is happening? What is happening in that weird case? Whatever, let's deal with that weird case. And well, no, I can't really work on this case unless I fix that case. Ezra, you should probably do some C# instead of GDScript eventually. You were looking at some interviews and you were like, damn, you got too used to GDScript. Yeah. C# has some pretty neat features for sure, especially modern C#. Like when I was back on Unity, I didn't get to use like the new C# stuff because Unity always lagged in support. But Godot pretty much just supports whatever the newest C# version there is. There's really no problem. So there's definitely a lot of sweet new features that I got to use, especially around like not ref structs exactly, but some of their memory stuff is pretty good. Some of their memory and span. Stuff they do with span is really great for an ECS, which I've got. But yeah, it's fun. I don't think I would do this generally. Like, I never use C# for like a jam project, but you haven't touched C-based language since school, which is like 13 years ago. Yeah, I've only got experience with this kind of flavor of language, like C#, JavaScript. I mean, I've obviously picked up GDScript. So where do I think this is happening? So we're getting into this area when we're on the hover layer specifically. And so what happens here when we're quote-unquote hovering? And we do this part. Okay, I see what triggers this. And I see why this ore is causing us some pain. I don't really understand how to do that. How to get around that, though. Oh, no, yeah, this ore is definitely causing us pain. Can I just get rid of this part? Do I actually want to make that check? I don't think so. Let's try this. And then let's work from there. Ezra, your tech job was mostly Java. Even then, you hate going back to something just for interviews. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could interview for a tech job. I think my experience is way too niche. I don't have that kind of general skill or education to ever pull something like that off. You're gritting your teeth and hoping that you don't have to go back to work. I mean, if you keep firing off that sweet merch, keep making that evergreen content, let's hope you never do. Yeah, okay, so we got our weirdness here. So that's back to being weird, but only under a very specific circumstance. And I still don't understand exactly why we're rendering everything when we do this. Like, why is that triggering all of the outlines? There's something happening where it's like early outing or something. Very strange, very strange. What's happening there? So can that happen if I also do this? Is that physically possible? Normally when we early out of one of these, we just send back the default tile, and maybe the default tile Oh, the default tile in this case is not the correct tile. It's possible that's what's causing us problems, because the default tile in this case would be quite bad to draw. That's not at all what I want. I see. I see. Well, no, the default tile should be correct. It should have... Actually, I don't see how that's causing a problem. Kind of grasping at straws here. That's right. People started showing interest in consultation. Ooh. So you're starting some consultation series on YouTube. Probably do some private session business if it does well. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I definitely know there's some people that do that, like Adam Learns Live. They do like private coaching and stuff. I think Aramis also does some kind of private consulting coaching stuff. So that if you're getting that kind of interest, you've definitely arrived. Okay, here's the ghost that doesn't make sense. Yeah, these can't be drawn like this. I don't understand how that shows up like that. That's such a mystery. These like solid little white boxes should not be... They should not be able to show up like that. And yet they do. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I can't imagine what else is happening, but we're sending back some kind of default, and the default is... It's true that the default Atlas coord would be all outlines on, which admittedly is maybe a mistake. I maybe should have made the default be no outlines. That probably would have hidden this at least. I don't really want to make that change. Sapphire, you're definitely seeing things with your shader that you'll need to change now that you're looking at more than just a sphere. Yeah, fair. It looks good though. I think I like it. You know, I like a good outline, and I like solid shading, and you know, I like that kind of stuff. Okay, so I think I see a bit of what's going on here. So get text tile overlay. If hulls contains key. So this turns out to be false. So we can't possibly be hitting this. Hull key plus hull key plus vector3i.x. Okay, I don't think we're hitting this. And that begs the question though. Overlay source ID. Oh, overlay source ID index plus 1. Is this 4? Is this value hard-coded to 4? Okay, it is, so that's correct. Anyways, we'll see you around. Oh yeah, no, take it easy. Have a good stream. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah, I mean, if you do get stuck on a problem, sometimes the correct thing to do is invert it. That can help in a lot of cases, an inversion of the problem. That can unlock stuff sometimes. It's possible that the game nodes thing is wrong. It's possible, but it seems unlikely. No, that's correct. Atlas is tile, Atlas overlay texture, so that we can't be hitting that either. Phase has cut away full deck. Continue. I don't think we're hitting that either. Tile is default. Continue. Oh yeah, so this should be protecting us. Is it possible we're processing the same hull key? Seems unlikely. And if we did, we would just overwrite the previous entry, I think. So we're going through. This is 0. We're setting the source ID. We're getting through this stuff. Something is happening. Atlas index. That's correct. We're hitting this a lot. Minus X plus Y. I think this is the wrong... I think this might be what's happening. I think that's supposed to be Z, not W. Oh, no. That is supposed to be W. That is supposed to be W. All contains plus Y plus minus Y plus Z. Wait, minus Y. It's minus X. So X face minus X minus Y, yeah, plus Z. Bulk X. Oh, that's wrong. Oh no, that's not wrong. That's totally right. Or not mass contains all key. I don't think that's having an effect, but let's just hide this for now, maybe. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, we're doing a lot of that, actually. What if we did none of this? Just as a sanity check here. That's fine. It's fine. Okay. So I think there is maybe like I think the corner behavior is causing this. I think it's causing us to go out of bounds. It's causing us to hit a mapping that doesn't exist, and that's causing the thing to default to 0. Because this is what I get for half-assing the corner code. By the way, we haven't written any of the auto-tiling corner rules yet, so maybe we're not done with the auto-tiler just yet. Right now, there's really no reason to do much logic with corners, because there aren't textures to swap out. Yeah, that's what's happening. Okay. That's definitely what's happening. All right. So we need to actually write this corner stuff out or hide it. So I think these W maneuvers... Wait, why is it W here all of a sudden? No, that's correct. That's correct. So yeah. Found our problem. Do we care about the hull being contained over here? Yeah, I guess we do a bit, huh? I think this ore is maybe causing us a bit of a problem. I think we can use this again. I think it should be this. And then I think we need to expand that. Oh no, ore is correct, huh? I think it's this or this, so I think it's like... Alright, I think I'm getting some traction here. Got maybe enough time to fix this. Hey. Okay, so we're not causing that insane behavior that we were before. Great. Look at that. That looks correct. Holy cow. I still have to turn the selection overlay back on. This is just the input overlay. But that's correct so far. That said, we did spot some weird other problems when we were in like select only view, so I might look at that again in a second. You're gonna have to change how the outlining works. The way it's doing it now does not like flat surfaces at all. You're troubleshooting outlining your own self now. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, I didn't turn the thing back on. Turn this back on. All right, all right. We're making something happen here. Huzzah! Yes, to shenanigans. Indeed. Huzzah. Ooh. That's weird. And yet correct. Awesome. Looking good. So now you can see if you've only selected like part of a floor here, it shows you that. All right, let's use multiple levels. Let's also do this thing. Ah, this is wrong. There needs to be one more check. That's okay. We're getting there. We're getting close. So the case it can't handle is when we're extending out like this. It needs to look to see if there's a surface below us. way I express that is like this. So the trick was to eschew the normal outline check entirely, which helped. You completed the side square. You saw the outline where it was supposed to be, and it wasn't there when you started. You feel like you can see the matrix, yeah. Yeah, we got that part. We need a qualifier here, though. It needs to say or not hull dot hulls dot contains key hull key dot xyz with y equals hull key dot y plus, no, it's x. We want to go forward 1 by x with x equals x plus 1. Z equals hull key dot z plus 1, and w equals int tile dot layers almost bulk z. Oh, it needs to be hull key, not hull key dot xyz. Hull key with all of these. That should help. Okay, bit of a problem here. Bit of a problem. A little too far. We did a little too good with that. Oh, we still have the corner stuff. Okay, I need to add a corner qualifier as well. So it's being a little overzealous. But it's close. It's close. Actually, I want to see it here. Yeah, okay. So I need to prevent that without preventing this problem on the bottom right here. So it needs to draw the outline there. Not here. I guess it's, yeah. So how do I make sure it draws that but not that? This is where autotiling is complicated. You're like, what's the distinction between these? So I guess if we're selected, that's different than if the neighbor below us is selected. That's why I want to do this instead. I want to say this. So if we're contained and they're contained, if they're not contained, if we're contained and they're not contained, we want to say or this. This is where we move this. We move this down to here. if we're not contained, and they are, or actually I did this in the wrong order. I think I want this down here. Reduce this indentation a little bit here. Oh no, I had this right. We care about whether the hull tile is there. Oh, we care about whether the hull tile is there if we're not selected. Right. Or this. I think this works. Let's give this a try. Nope. Why? So if we're contained and they're contained, or if we're not contained, I didn't indent this sufficiently. More like this. Brandon, you just got back from a meeting you forgot you had scheduled today. Yeah, meetings. Exactly. Next. Ooh, okay. I think we're getting it. I think we got it. That case is correct. What about this case? This case is mostly correct. We gotta fix the corner. We gotta fix the bottom right corner. But otherwise, we're close. Although this is wrong now. We fixed something and broke something else. I think I see. Why is this an or? Shouldn't this be an and? I think it's the same thing here, but without the sideways movement. So we get rid of the X modification. Let's try that. The square, yeah, well. That's what makes this interesting. Is coming up with a series of rules, and the square is back. But now it's back all the time. So a bit of a downside. There's an and that should be an or somewhere. should be an or. We're back to mostly not working. So much indentation. All right, we got it. We got it. We just got to fix the corner, but we got it. What are we checking against here? We're checking that there is no bulk X hole there. We should do the mass containment first, I feel like. This and is weird. So we're checking over, or we're checking over and down. Okay, that's right. Why are we asking this though? Oh, it's this again. We actually care whether, which case it is. We need similar logic to the above, but with slightly more. So I don't think we do this. I think instead we do something like this, where we say, so if we've already eliminated the walls, then what we're checking, or the edges, then we want to check the corner between those two edges that we've omitted. And what we want to do for that check, all we really need to do we already know that's not there. So we already know that some portion of this has happened. So what we need to do is we need to make sure. So we need to say, so if there is a tile there, so we could say and not. Oh, duplication. Well, we could say not this. We could say if we're not this. Or if we are this. So if there is a wall there, then all we want to do is then we want to make sure. So actually this doesn't need to be doubled up like that, though it should be. That seems wrong, but let's see. Let's see what way in which it's wrong. Oh, we're back to, at least in one case, causing a catastrophic problem, but that's okay. In every other case, it seems to be working. But there's one more case that we need to understand. Oh, we actually only care, we want to say or not mask contains this and mask contains this. I think this is what we want. Almost. We're still not quite there. Oh, and we're causing... Okay, so now we're causing the problem for everyone else. Cool, 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 cool. Tight, tight, tight. So if we're not selected, but that tile is... Oh, actually, that corner... I think I made a mistake. Or more specifically, I think I misunderstand corners, the way we're doing this. Why do I care about corners? There's a very particular reason we added corners. I need to remember. There's a diagram I have for this specific thing. It's called like something about, what's it called? Whole face mapping. This is it. So, right. Okay. So it's only if we're selected and they're not. Okay. I understand. So if this is the case... So if this is the case, and we only care about that if and we're selected. So we can say and mask dot contains this. So if we're not selected, or if we are selected, we can go through this process. If we're selected and we've got a contain here. And so if we're selected and they're not selected, so if we're selected and they're selected, we're all good. No further checks needed. If we're selected and they're not selected, then this is still, we still might omit the corner if so we're selected and they're not selected. So we've already here decided to get rid of all the outlines. Or the edgewise outlines. So those are gone. And then what we're concerned about, so if we're selected and our diagonal down tile is not selected, if it is selected, fine, we don't need to do anything. This is confusing, but I think I'm getting it. If it isn't selected, we're selected and they're not selected, we would normally want to draw a corner there. Unless there's just nothing there. Actually, no. There is something there. I don't have this correct. Let's see what this one looks like. I don't think this is a whole idea here, but I think this is more close to what I want to do. Well, no, because we do this. So we want to say, get rid of this. So we've decided to get rid of everything else. Ah, there's one more top level thing I want to say. So we could say this, or this, or this. Well, now we're back to being kind of broken again. What happens if I do this, though? See, this part's correct now. That's good. Well,
maximum warp.
This part's relatively correct now, but it's still doing the weird thing. It's still kind of breaking. Ugh, okay. Maximum warp, no jewel. How's it going? Well, we made progress today. Not like a lot. We're reaching the end here. Of the stream, not the list of problems that I have. So if we've decided to get rid of these outlines along the edges already, the only reason we might need to draw the... Is there any reason we might need to draw the corner in this world? Basically, if the tile below us feels like it needs to draw its right side neighbor, its right side outline, then we do too. All right, I'm gonna roll back the last couple changes I made here since it was like more stable than what we've got. It was wrong, but it was more stable. List is never ending and always expanding. This is why I don't keep a list. Why spend your time on an infinite list? Okay, this is busted again. Man. Alright, I want to get it back into like a somewhat stable state here. What if I forget about this? Good night. Good night, Arneo. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. All right. All right, this is relatively stable. The corner's messed up, but that's okay. We can fix the corner tomorrow. I'm actually going to get rid of this too. We're just going to go back to this for now. This might be the most correct thing we can do, ironically. Oh yeah, that's totally correct. Great. All right, we're looking good. We're looking good. I need to propagate the changes back to the other side. Looks like the best thing to do is not worry about the corners for now. All right, well, I gotta go to the grocery store and get some lunch and stuff. But this is good. This is an improvement. Can I copy these changes over to the other side and be probably fine? Oops. Copy. To this side. What? I see. Okay, I think this will work now the other way. Have a good one. I'll catch me tomorrow. Yeah. Hell yeah. Take it easy, Diginanigans. We're going to be wrapping up here in a quick second. I just wanted to change... Oh. I wanted to copy my changes back to this side, and it's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, the corner thing, maybe? All right. We're looking good. We're in much better shape than we were when the stream started, and that's, you know, all you can do. Hell yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. We'll pick things up tomorrow. The corners seem to be very rarely needed, and I need to be thoughtful about that. Yeah. That was a good stream. I appreciate that. Yeah. We got something done. That's a good stream in my book. But yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Nyx, Sapphire, No Jewel, Arneo, everyone, RJ, Nanigans. Ezra, thanks for stopping by. Mr. Magoo. Anyone else who's popped in and said hi, Ketu, Alex. Appreciate y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Maximum warp.